Hi, how are you doing today? Welcome back. This is session 2 to go with the Bible study, the purpose. And a quick recap from last time is on the introduction video, we talked about the need. Do we have a need to improve as Christians? And how do we instill that into ourselves? In the first session video, we talked about if the purpose of a Christian is to portray Christianity, but the picture that the world sees is not what we hope that they see, then what do we need to do? There is a disconnect somewhere. But in order to do anything, we have to be convinced, like, oh, I gotta go out there and get it. I gotta work hard and make sure that this is done. Other than I can say, yeah, of course I need to improve, who doesn't? And then move on and not do anything from there. So the one thing I wanna be very clear about is, if you leave any of these sessions, if you leave this study feeling guilty, feeling like I've been beaten on my head, oh my goodness, I've not been good, that is not the purpose of the study. The purpose of the study is to give you the tools that you may need to go out there and work hard. Like, I'm gonna train, I'm gonna put my mind to it, I'm gonna work on it daily, and I'm gonna work on making that portrayal of the picture of Christianity a whole lot better than what it is today. So the first thing I'm going to ask you is, I'm going to throw a word at you and ask you, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Pharisees. Ooh, that's a very bad word, right? They're terrible people. They like the epitome of like, oh my God, no, I don't want to be even come close to that. No, I just want you to think about it. What did they do? What did the Pharisees do to get that rap? They crucified Jesus. Of course. Before that, like, Pharisees were there long before when Jesus arrived, right? Well, before they crucified Jesus, they did not accept him as the Messiah. Okay, true. What about before that? What about before Jesus came? What are the Pharisees? Well, they are the teachers of the Bible. They are the ones that the people asked, what does the Bible mean by? What do I have to do to live up to what the Bible wants me to be? They taught the people to worship, to pray, to give sacrifices, to tithe. They advocated God's commands. But wait a second, didn't Jesus lay into them? Like in Matthew chapter 23, if you are convinced that you need to do something, I need you to actually, on your own, read Matthew chapter 23, and actually outline what are the things that Jesus is telling. It's all about Jesus talking to the Pharisees, laying into them. In 23:33, Jesus calls them brood of vipers. I'm like, oh my goodness, hypocrites comes up 1,000,000 times in that. Well, not 1,000,000, you know what I mean. But why? What sin did they commit? Even in one of the verses in Matthew 23, verse 15, actually, Jesus says, you travel land and sea to gain one convert. And then, well, I mean, don't we do that? Again, I'm not trying to make us be, oh my goodness, I'm a Pharisee. No, that is not the goal of this session. It's just simply to see what they were characterized by, how they lived, yet how Jesus laid into them. Jesus was frustrated, remember when we talked about being lukewarm and Jesus saying in the previous session, I'd rather you be hot or cold, but not lukewarm. Maybe the Pharisees were lukewarm. They were concerned more about the religious correctness of the culture, and they did. They were teachers of the law. They wanted to be respected. They scholars that studied and shared with the people what they believed. The Bible is asking what God is asking his people to be like. But yet, brood of vipers, yet hypocrites, arrogant, self-righteous, judgmental. Again, this is not a condemnation. We have not made the association yet, so please, this is not to make you feel guilty, but to really ask the question, what sin did the Pharisees commit? They taught the Bible, but did not reflect it. I believe that's what Matthew 23 is saying. So the big question is like, that is what God wants me to do. Reflect the Bible. In one of the areas, Jesus tells them in the same chapter, you worry about tithing and prayer, yet you don't care about injustice, mercy, faithfulness. How do you teach these? Well, I believe, by following a lot of the stuff in the Bible, we hope that mercy, fighting injustice, being faithful to God will come. But I think there is more to it than that, and that's what we're going to try to explore in the next parts of the study. Thank you for listening. I hope you have a great time until the next session, and I see you then.